Hey guys, welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here, hello. Hello friends. Well, this is weird. We're into day whatever of Corona lockdown. I think some of us are starting to go a little bit stir crazy. Thankfully, that's the only problems that we have so far, so should be thankful for that. This was the last video we filmed before we kind of shut up shop. I think Rabea arrived with us on a Monday. They started saying on the Sunday that we should think about our travel a bit more. But everything was still open then, so we thought, no, we'll go ahead. And it's amazing how quickly it's escalated since then. So, you know, just for the record, we did film this before people were advised not to travel and were asked not to travel outside their home. So we were still inside that, just in case anyone's worried about that. But it was very much on our minds. And we were certainly sat around here at my home watching Spinal Tap in the evening going, wow, this is actually happening. But make the videos we did. It's a great video. Rabea plays amazingly well. There's some great laughs in it. So I hope it's something to take your mind off it for an hour or so. And think forward to when we are back to something approaching relatively normal. Okay, stay well, be well. Hope you're all managing to fill your time okay. And in the meantime, enjoy Rabea's pedalboard build.
Right, we're building a pedalboard today and we have the brand new Schmidt Array 750.
SA750 XDM.
Massive thing.
750 millimeters. Who would use such a thing?
Apart from me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Progressive guys, I think, that use, you know, loads and loads of pedals. Rabea would use an SA750.
I'll give him a call.
Yeah.
Hey man, how you doing?
Not too bad, mate. How are you?
I'm alright, thank you. Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, what can I do for you?
Do you want to do a pedalboard build?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Was that as lame as it felt?
Okay, Rabea is here. We're doing a board
Hello.
build.
How
This
are
is going to
you
be
guys?
fun. We're great, man. Haven't seen you since Japan.
We found this out earlier. That
Yeah.
seems crazy.
It's crazy.
18 months ago?
18 months ago.
Wow.
Was it? It was in September, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah, it's a great time, but I've missed you since.
Yeah, I missed you too, man.
Likewise. We've
Yeah.
been talking about you. We honk you nearly every other week on the show.
Well, that's very kind. I like to be honked.
So I had a hand in your old board. What's going to be different this time?
Well, you say you had a hand in it. You literally, I haven't changed it since you did it. As in, like, the
No
programming of
way.
it, I haven't touched because I'm like, this works for me. And I've written so many songs around the way you programmed it.
Wow,
If you
okay.
do the functionality of the way you've done it. So, like, it has to stay the same in that
Sure.
sense. Other than just chopping and changing a few different pedals
Okay.
to loop in. But
Right.
other than that, it's pretty much the same as it was.
Okay.
So still using the Strifector
Nice.
for all the reverb delay modulation, and then G2 is obviously switching everything, and then it's mainly fuzzes. That's about it.
Okay.
Just mainly fuzz after that.
So your amps, you've got your Krakens, and there's been a sort of rejig of one of them,
Yeah.
hasn't there?
There's
the
the-
100 watt?
Yeah, it's now MIDI switchable.
Oh, yes, right.
I should step in here and say I think we've got the Krakens. I'm 98% sure we've got the Krakens.
Okay,
Okay.
that's good. That's exciting.
I haven't actually opened the boxes yet. So.
Okay.
So it's MIDI switchable.
Yeah, so the VX100 is, MIDI. You can
Okay.
program channel switching, master switching, effects loop on and off, boost, all that stuff.
Awesome.
Which is kind of what I was hoping to achieve with the new board, was that the whole thing, because up until that point it had just been a foot switch cable, ring and tip,
Yep.
but now I need more from it.
Okay, sure. Okay. Well, let's have a look at this new board.
Oh my days.
It's not like my Schmidt Array boards.
Whoa.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, it's in a flight case.
I thought it'd be like just much smaller and loads of packing, but no, this is
It's
right to the
genuinely that
edge.
size.
It is in a flight case though. How many pedal nerds does it take to... Oh man, feel the bearings in that.
ABEC 5.
Okay, right.
Oh, I'm excited.
Ready?
Yes.
Ta-da! Oh my goodness me.
Connect.
Oh, wow. The first thing I want to say is that it smells amazing. Do you want to know what the XDM stands for? Extra deep, man.
Not X demo model.
Luckily, no.
Okay.
It's huge.
It is massive. Here, I'll do some.
Oh my god, never look in there. I think I can see daylight.
Right, so let's start getting things laid out.
Okay, I want to point this out to YouTube though, that my entire pedal board is in this bag. So that I'm pretty proud of.
That's okay.
It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. As it currently works, when you'd set it up originally, you know, like every time I switch preset, these will change to what I need them to do,
Yep.
so on and so forth. So I didn't really necessarily think they needed to be accessible.
Sure.
Whereas this may be more so because I wanted to use it with an expression pedal to do
Yes.
some cool tape speed up stuff. And then I suppose, yeah, other than that, it was any pedals, just quick adjust stuff.
Let's use this as a working layout for now. And then we'll look at doing power and the audio and MIDI, and this is going to be awesome.
It certainly is. It already looks amazing.
Looks great, doesn't it?
It's like a Google server farm, but in the world of guitar tone.
Okay, we've got the layout done, and I must say it is looking spectacular. So under the hood, we've got this Germanium fuzz from Buffalo FX. That's a secret weapon of yours.
It certainly
Not
is.
secret anymore.
No.
Thank you very much. Now we've got the Coopersonic Germaniac and the Mimic under here that you use in Toska, but nothing else. Is that right?
Literally just for live stereo doubling effects.
Okay, right. Groovy. We have tuner and tap. This is for the bank selection. You're using the Mission expression pedal. I've got to show you this one because this one has an LED base plate. So
I
that when
paid
you step on
extra.
it glows, which is
Yeah.
really cool. So you're going to have this expression pedal hooked up to the Volante,
Yep.
and this expression pedal will be doing both of these.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so the layout is done. What I'm going to do now is lay out the power and get all that going, and then we'll do audio. So to the power. Okay, it is, what is it? It is 6 o'clock, wow. So I'm going to wrap up now, and but we've basically, I'd say about 15 to 20 minutes away from finishing the power.
Is that 15 down minutes?
15 down minutes.
So about an hour?
Hour and a half. Cool, okay. Beer?
Yes.
Beer.
There he is.
Okay, start of day 2, starting the audio. Definitely have some challenges today, not the least of which I had a couple of glasses of wine last night. It's feeling a little bit precious. because it's such a big board, the audio runs are going to use quite a lot of cable. So I've got to sort of think carefully about this. So one thing Rabea has asked is that I reuse as many of his old patch cables as I can. Now normally with a board like this, I would make every cable from scratch. You know, all these patch cables work fine, so there's no point in being wasteful with these. Let's use as many of these as we can. Okay, all the connections are done. There's obviously a lot of tidying up to do, but I want to get it plugged in and get some noise happening, get the MIDI things working, and yes, try it with Rabea's new amp. I kind of feel that music could play me to sleep, but I'd have nightmares. What an epic sound.
Yeah, that's one of the most epic ones on the board.
Right. So shall we go through some of your core sounds then?
Okay. Yeah.
That was one of them.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
That's the Allumo patch for the one song. Literally, it's just because of the rhythm of the delay. So that pretty much gives you the rhythm that the whole song tempo is based off.
Right.
And that's why I have that one. But it's also really fun just because there's tons of everything. Tons of mood and ambience. I guess I'll start from 1 then.
Yep.
So it's going to be loud. So that's probably that's my main heavy riffing tone.
Okay.
I have a question immediately.
Yes.
I think we're going to address this in another video, but we got asked in VCQ this week, how do you keep your bottom tight? Because that was what I was feeling there. I was feeling bass, but there was no flab.
I think there's a combination of the type of pickup, because obviously it's a higher output pickup, and this is tailor-made for that, for heavy palm muted stuff. I think maybe, I don't know, thicker strings. No, I'm not using any extra compression. It's just amp tone, and I'm not running like ridiculous amounts of gain. I am running more than I would normally run on the VX100, but generally I think, because the more turn up gain, the more low end you get.
So when you stepped on 1, then what happened? What did we switch in?
We literally just turned both amps to gain 2.
Right.
So that's literally, my lower gain sound is gain 1.
Yeah.
So that, all that stuff, and then, when I switch it in. Yeah, it's quite tight, to be honest. Maybe it's the thickness of the strings. Yeah. I don't know.
So that's switching the amps by M1D1?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't use a noise gate either.
No, or like a fret wrap or anything. Not because I'm like, I don't need it. It's literally just noise gates make it feel weird to play.
Right.
Even like really, really, really good ones, like the Zool. Is it the Zool gate? 14 make, which is designed for heavy players to use. And I struggle. I've tried using that and I struggle with that. I've never felt like I desperately need one because I quite like all the sound. I like all the sound and all that stuff. So I haven't bothered really.
And I guess a noise gate in the heavy world also has a sound of its own.
Yeah, like when people do the gent thing,
okay,
which is all that kind of. You see, like obviously there's tons of flub and like a bit of string ring here, but that's because I'm using a trem. So, that's why that's happening, and I've not dampened it.
I see.
So you're getting that weird bouncy low end thing, but in terms of the main attack and those notes I was playing, maybe it's just down to tightness or something. Yeah. Like I personally feel like the tighter you are, the less you need a gate. Personally.
Right.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is specifically you're doing, but that's my view.
So, am I guessing? Let me guess. Your basic gain staging is set up on the bottom row.
Yep.
And then you've got stuff in Stompbox mode to add the pedals as you want them.
Yeah. That's literally how it works.
Nice. So we heard 1. What happens in 2?
So 2 was that Illumo patch. So the big. The big blooms, and then 3 is kind of meant to be a lesser version of. It's not a rhythmic based one, but it's more just like a bit less ambience.
It's massive.
It's so dynamic. The way it reacts to the pressure on your right hand. It goes from this clean thing with a bit of zip on the top to this wall.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that one's. I enjoy using that one mostly for when I'm doing chord progression stuff like that, and I want a bit of that ambience there. 4 is basically just a bit of reverb. I say just a bit. Probably for me, it's like all the reverb. Basically, just a bit of reverb.
That bridge pickup has got some serious honk on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, and we tried to take as much as we could out,
right?
Because of low gain stuff. So this is the silo humbucker,
yeah.
And I'd always use the Warpig, which is much higher output, and I was trying to get it to be so when you play pushed clean stuff, it's glassy in a way, but when you dig in, so it's less compressed than before.
Tell you what I find really interesting is all the sounds we've heard so far, or some of the sounds we've heard so far, are very wet. So you were saying in your world that's a little bit of reverb, but to me it sounds really wet. But it doesn't wash away. You can still hear the attack of the strings. You can still hear the definition of the notes. How do you achieve that?
So one thing I've always tried to do is take high end out of my reverb and delay.
Right.
Wow.
And I do it almost as a bad habit nowadays, where I will literally go and just dial out the tone of the reverb and delay so that the attack of the strings and all of the stuff comes from the guitar. And really what you're just getting from those is that support and that ambience, as opposed to it. Because it starts fighting and you get all that top end and it gets messy. So
especially with gain. With clean, you can sort of get away with it a bit more, I think. But
well, patch 7 is a good example of that, but we'll get there at some point. But yeah, that one's basically high gain with loads of reverb and delay. Right, so then 5, I'm pretty sure we turned off what it was meant to be. So that's meant to be a bit of reverb with a high gain, and I'm meant to have... like that.
It's just massive.
Yeah.
Keep all the comments going, how on earth do you get that to sit in a mix? But I guess you're a three-piece with Toska, so
I have no
you've
one
got
to
all
compete
the space
with.
in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So I try and keep as much low end as well as I can in the sound, because Dave's got quite a low. Obviously, he's a bass player, so there's bass, but then it's kind of like lots of low mid, and then tons of presence because of his finger attacking when he plays. So I try and just sit as this thick wall of sound, so you can hear the nuances in his playing too. So 6 is meant to be basically pad, like ultimate ambient pad. So like having to stop myself because I would just keep playing. That's the kind of sound I will just play for hours.
Film soundtrack.
It's achingly beautiful.
Yeah, it
really is.
Dan's aching particularly today. While watching This Is Spinal Tap last night, we had a couple of drinks and we're all a little bit green around the gills. Apart from you were a good boy.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew we were doing this today. But yeah, that one's that kind of like numb, dull kind of. I don't know. I think it's the kind of sound I expect if you're into that sound that you would go inside your own head a bit and put your own melody with that and just get lost in it a bit. So that's
sort of seeing spaceships.
Yeah. Desolate futuristic landscapes.
Yeah. Or Bond when he's kind of, he's in his down patch and he's away and he's just, that's what I was seeing.
But the fact that it's making you see stuff is kind of, I feel like it's doing the right thing.
That's the point.
And then, all right, so patch 7 is kind of a bit of everything because I'll basically show you what I do with patch 7. So this is what it sounds like straight off the bat. So that's kind of what I'd use for like a lead line thing.
Yeah. I'd tell you what I love about that. It's absolutely colossal, but it's not that loud.
Yeah, right.
No.
I don't know what the dB meter was saying. I would probably 94, 93, something like that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't even know. But...
It doesn't, considering it's 2 amplifiers as well. Yeah. It's not mega loud, but to be fair, like they're running at like just above 1.
Ticking over, yeah.
Where do you normally have them?
About 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So loud.
Right.
Because that's where you get rid of, like, on the high gain stuff, you hear how at the minute there's a lot more of that top end sizzle going on.
Right.
Once you turn it up, that goes away.
Okay.
Smoothens right out and becomes really roaring, which is awesome, but it would deafen us. So yeah, carrying on with that patch, I would add something, I would do this kind of thing. It's going to be loud. What did I do? That was the Buffalo FX Germanium fuzz I was telling you about.
It sounds amazing. All I can see is Daniel Craig like driving across the desert, and he's got his sunglasses on. He's just been beaten to crap, and the sun's going down, and
It
he's
still
across
looks good.
the desert, and there's this massive dust cloud out the back, and it's apocalyptically going dark. That's what I'm hearing there.
Basically, yeah. That's what I'm trying to do.
That's what he was going for.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
It's pretty monstrous, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll never get bored of that particular sound.
It's great.
It's either the Buffalo with the POG or take the POG off if you don't want that really intense sort of, octave sound. It just becomes this warm... I love that Buffalo. I don't even know if you can still get them, but it just has a great sound. Like
That's
a really
underneath,
warm...
right? The Buffalo.
It is.
Yep.
It's underneath.
Yeah. That for Dan and I is super interesting. The amps are well gained, and then you add fuzz on top of that. In most people's world, it's just mush central, but it's just this massive, very moving kind of experience.
Yeah, I don't know what happens. I think it's the overloaded front end, the compression that it hits, but you get... So that because of that, you get the pick attack, and then it allows the new note to ring out and all that stuff.
But as the chords are sustaining, it moves from compression, and different harmonics start coming through in different frequencies in different parts of the chord. It sounds incredible.
Yeah, man, I'm well into that. So following on with the same thing, I might do... So the Thunderclaw is my other secret sauce.
Right.
And the settings, as you can see, are pretty intense. There's like loads of bass, not very much treble, loads of output and not very much gain. Because what it seems to do when I run it into the dual Kraken rig is it gives like just a thicker, slightly fuzzy-edged version of my high gain rhythm sound. So try and demonstrate that. It should be plugged into Dino. So it's kind of just a more rounded, slightly fuzzed up version of what you already hear. And I love that, particularly again with... It's like a different quality of the Germanium fuzz.
And it is a fuzz, is it?
It's what I like to call a fuzzstortion,
right?
Because
nice.
I don't really know if it's a distortion pedal or a fuzz pedal because it sits somewhere in between for me.
Yeah, so there must be a pedal called fuzzstortion, isn't there? And if there isn't,
there is now
one within the next 2 weeks.
What else is cool to show you on this? So then, this one, which everyone loves.
Is that this?
No, that's the Coopersonic Germaniac.
Oh, right.
There.
Okay.
That pedal, I stumbled across it ages ago. There was this pedal brand at a local guitar show in Pudsey. And he was like, I'd only just started YouTube, and I sort of said, I'll make a video if you've got any pedals. And he handed me that and said, have fun with that. And then I went home, and it's become... if I lost that pedal, or it broke, I would be so upset. Because it does a lot of cool stuff. Like in between sections, you can add it and it gives you this 8-bit crush sound when you put it over like a chord. And then I have the Möbius, which I really only use... It's currently set up for a couple of the Toska tracks.
Right.
So for example, on preset 3, it goes to what's called ripples, and there's a section in Chalk Teeth. It's just an auto wah.
Right.
So, so I use it for that. But then if I run it on, this one's great. But it sounds even better when you use it on high gain. I'm just trying to find weird sounds that can go in little tiny sections of Toska songs. That's basically the point of
Congratulations.
all that stuff.
Yeah, yes. Job done.
There's loads of people watching this, watching mine and Dan's faces going, yeah, they haven't got a clue what's going on. So when you stepped on patch 2, for example, that's sending a MIDI message to the Möbius to say change to this sound, and then you actually turn it on using Stompbox mode.
Yeah.
So the way G2 is programmed here is preset 2 sends the MIDI change message, but it's not on until you switch it on in Stompbox
Exactly.
mode.
So it's set up ready to go on.
Yeah.
As soon as it wants it for that part of the song, it just kicks it on.
That's clever.
Prefer the control of the choice of having it there or not if I want it.
Yeah. I didn't realise you could do that. I didn't realise you could mix the MIDI and the Stompbox mode.
Well, like I say, like you set this up originally, and I have not touched. Like 1 to 7 is my presets, and then along the top is starting. I've the amount of tunes that we've written because of the way that it's set up is so funny, and like, so I was saying to Dan, can we just duplicate this across all the banks? So I know, because it works perfectly for that reason. Nice little things that just make life easier.
Yeah, I
with
guess
all the weird sound changes I have to do.
It gets to that point where it becomes sort of muscle memory almost, that you know that this is going to happen. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah, exactly. And the main strength of this rig for me is for those weird sounds that I just need to patch in for like a second,
or
a bar or two. I can do really, really easily.
What do you use the synth one for then?
So the synth one was currently being auditioned on the board, and then I left it on because it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any expression pedals. So like, what's funny with this new build is that half of it is I know exactly what I'm doing. It's how I've used it for years, and now the other half of it is we've introduced Volante 2 expressions that control this, this, and this, and then we've got this in here. So it's like a new world as well for me right now. But when it's hooked up, it does a frequency sweep. Have you plugged the expression in?
Yep.
Well, yeah. Operate its expression. That's
woken up in Doctor Who's EDM nightmare.
Do you know what's exciting about that? Doctor Who's EDM Nightmare. Yeah. It's a great name for a band.
Yeah.
Just one that dresses like the Strange Nightmare.
But having it in there now, because I hadn't had that before, is the thing I'm excited about, is because you can come up with some wicked riffs, like Prodigy-esque kind of like filter suite riffs and stuff for song sections. That's the exciting part for me.
And the expression control is controlling the filter, right?
Yeah, this becomes useless.
Yeah.
And then you've got chaos mode, and this they put a really super heavy, so you can step on it to change it mid-song, which is cool.
Nice.
So it's really heavy duty.
Oh, well.
Which apparently was a key feature, so I was happy about that. All right then. My favourite pedal so far, my new favourite pedal, is this. What was this plugged into again? Was this
4? It's in the Stompbox mode.
Oh, wicked. Okay.
You look wonderful
tonight.
But yeah, it does that, as well as loads of other cool sounds. That one's really good with loads of, like on a high gain. That was a low gain sound.
Right.
As in, I put that over that. Then if I... Or over this. So like, if you imagine that your drummer's wailing on the crash, doing this huge big wall of sound groove, and bass players just playing really low rumbling notes, and I'm doing a lead line over the top with that octave up, it would just sound really epic.
Yeah.
On its own, it's like quite uncontrollable and a bit messy, but as soon as you add all the other stuff, I think it would just sound really cool.
It's colossal. It's colossal. If you haven't checked out Rabea's band Toska, please do. And some of
Fired
this...
by the Solos, the last album.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
Thank you very much.
And maybe if there are any sort of TPS regular viewers to whom this feels very unfamiliar, it will give you some context and make a lot of sense when you listen to it. What's the MXR tap thing for?
So that was literally for changes the bank.
Okay, so you're not using it to tap tempos or anything. It's to change banks.
I learned that that's all you needed was just a tap tempo foot switch, and MXR make these tiny little ones, so in it just does exactly that. Because sometimes before I got it, I have two banks that I use live, and I'd change to bank one and then forget to go back.
Yeah.
And we'd start the next song and I'd be like, this is completely the wrong delay sound, and it's like mid song, so that's very useful.
How many banks in G2?
There's 8.
So you hit this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then if you hit switches 1 to 8, you go to that bank.
That's right.
And that gives you a whole other bank of presets.
Exactly.
But I'm hoping that we just copy and paste the same sort of structure across all 8 banks, so that I can just
I've been
program
using
loads of new
G2
sound.
for 4 years. I had no idea that existed.
Do you know? It's amazing. Yeah, it's definitely the key feature of the board. Aside from all the cool sounds you can get, it's like none of it would be useful if I didn't have this to control it all with.
Oh, cool.
So,
Well, man, I every time I hear you play and the sounds you get from your rig and stuff, it's such an experience. It does warm my heart, I must say. It's just epic, mate. It's so good. I mean, apart from you get some of the best high gain tones I've ever heard. We're going to do another show on that in a bit. But you go so much further than that as far as exploring and experimenting and just, I mean, seriously, some of the sounds we've heard today, I just haven't heard anything like them. They're just unreal.
yeah, probably just because they're just far too much noise for most people. Like, it's a lot of it's noisy as hell, but I think, I think I had quite a bit of patience for sitting there and just having a really loud, horribly noisy sound until something jumped out that went, oh, that sounds really cool.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
That's so interesting.
But also when you're doing it at home, sometimes I'll take the board home and I'll hook it up through my monitors at home. So I can just ride the master volume down. I can hear that it's wailing, and then I can design the sound that way, which is thanks to technology, we can do that at home.
Right.
But before that, I was doing it in the rehearsal room, which would annoy the drummer and the bass player quite significantly. The one thing we haven't got, unfortunately, at this point is, so that's the newest, most exciting, was the Volante being controlled by the expression pedal.
Yeah.
So that which by the way has an LED. That looks
Underneath.
amazing.
Oh, that's what that
As
is.
as you press that thing, I'll do it from here.
I mean, that's possibly the best part of the entire rig
Who wouldn't want that?
for the extra 20 quid or whatever it was. But
It's like you see those cars that have the LEDs underneath.
Underlight,
Yeah,
boy
yeah.
race. It's a boy racer expression pedal.
Yeah.
So I mean, we know it works, but it's for me that's a whole new learning curve.
Sure.
Trying to incorporate that into the board, like it, for the songs and stuff.
So you've got the echo level on the.
Yeah, I'm hoping to change that maybe to speed or something. Yeah, basically, I want to use it more as like an effect as opposed to it. That's a really obvious thing to say. I mean, rather than it being just delay reverb, because I've already got that, I want to make it more about some extreme cool, weird, tapey...
specific sound, yeah.
Yeah.
The multi-head thing and the way that echo type, there's no other sound like it, is there?
No.
Because you can start thinking that it's reverb after a while. It's actually delay, but because of all the short repeats and they keep feeding back into one another.
Yeah, that's what I love most about it, is the tone of that tape kind of echo thing. It's just... Once I'd heard it, I was like, no, I have to use that now.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Very cool.
Man, what a joy. New music coming from you then, we're expecting.
Yeah, there's we recorded a new single with Toska, which is due to be out, well, I was going to say before tour, but we're not touring now because of everything.
Oh, yeah, because of COVID-19. If you watch this, we are recording this as the COVID-19 thing kicked off.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will be a memory by some point fairly soon.
Let's hope so. But in the immediate, my tour's been cancelled. So either way, we've recorded a new single, so we're hoping that's going to be out sort of mid to late April. It's called Leave No Meat on the Bones. And this is the main part. That's why that's on the board now, because I put most of the sounds on that song have that pedal in it somewhere.
So the third man thing, there's a Jack White collaboration in there somewhere.
Third Man Records and Jack White teamed up with the Game Changer Audio guys to do this, which was the plasma drive, but they added the octave side of it and the extra gain, I think. It's an awesome pedal.
Because we got this one as well.
That was their other collaboration.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, with Union Tube and Transistor, which is the Bumble Bus.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Nice. Yeah. It's cool that they collaborate with lots of different pedal brands. I didn't know that. I just thought this was a one-off, so that's wicked.
He's getting around. He's spreading the love.
But yeah, outside of that, I've got some new music coming out, another Grinding Gears thing, which is the whole video demo tracks that I write.
Cool.
So a new EP of that's due in about a month. And I've done a collaboration with a guy called Maxi Kerno, where I wrote a song, he wrote lyrics, and that's getting released very soon. Nice. I'm really proud of that one, actually. That's a cool song as well.
Is he from Cornwall?
I don't think so.
Isn't
Kerno
name for Cornwall?
Maybe he is a bit.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like a surfer dude.
Right.
Maxi, if you're watching this, you look like a surfer.
And this is new.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is prototype 1 of my Pro Model Chapman, and it's it's the same shape as the old one, but I changed quite a lot. So now it's still an alder body, but it's Mappa Burl on top.
Mappa Burl.
Mappa Burl.
Okay.
Type of diseased wood. Roasted bird's eye maple fretboard and neck. And then we've got the Schala vintage trem on there with these really cool little rolling saddles. The action of that is really nice if you ever tried one of those. Schala locking tuners. And then I've got my bare knuckle silo humbucker, and there's a little 59, because although they come as a set, in this particular guitar, I much prefer the mini humbucker sound, and particularly the little 59 is, I'm just very used to it. But in my other guitar, I use the full set. But yeah.
And it's standard scale?
Yeah, this is 25.5. It's currently got 1160 in drop C, which is quite heavy, but I would generally use this more for lead stuff, I think.
Right.
But yeah, it sounds really nice.
I'm
very happy with it.
It's cool. It's a looker.
Thank you. Yeah, I decided to go all out this time. I was like, gold, shall I? Yeah, why not? Why not?
And we should also mention Schmidt. This is their new EDM board.
It's the SA750 XDM.
XDM. And XDM stands for?
Extra deep, man.
Extra deep, man.
Yeah. It's literally their 750, but they've just added more depth so that we could fit, basically, I think it pretty much bang on the size that we need, because I can add a couple more pedals underneath and then it's pretty much chocker. But a huge thank you to Schmidt for building this.
In pale and blue, I think we touched on that earlier on. But
it's a wonderful colour. Yeah, I looked through all the
special.
the websites, and that one's the one that jumped out the most. So
Killer.
Yeah.
Okay. So great to see you again. I'm going to get to play us out if you don't mind. But just quickly to say thank you guys so much for watching. Please check out Toska. They're awesome. Also, massive thank you to our preferred retailers in the UK and Europe is...
Anderson's Music of Guildford in Surrey, where you can see him sometimes.
Yes. You're doing lots of the
Sound like
stuff. This is really cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Also, our mates in Australia.
Pedal Empire of Brisbane, Queensland.
Yes, hello to Matt and the gang.
Indeed.
Also, a massive thank you to everyone that's gone to thatpedalshowstore.com and checked out our wares. Pedals, hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, strings. It's all there.
Pencils.
And finally, massive thank you to our patrons on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. And now we're just going to listen to the sweet dulcet tones of this wonderful being.
Okay.
to me of everything I was trying to rebel against. Someone who continued to reinforce the age of self in a time where what we desperately